it my moment genius? Is it genius or is it stupidity? We are about to find out.
Let's get in the shop and build something.
Fancy spacers. That would have worked. That would have worked nice. Yes. All right, now brown cow. That'll work right there. Now, will this work? The moment of truth. Alright, here we go. Wish me luck. We're about to find out. So this should have gained me, I could say, 1 3/4 to 2 inches. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but I just needed some fall for the fuel when I'm filling it. Come on, get on there. You can do it. Alright. Okay. Hey guys. Okay, we're back. So I got things figured out on the fuel cell, what I wanted to do there with the hose. And so now I've kind of been working on fabbing out a piece for the mount. So let me show you what I'm working on. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I need a place to mount, so that's what this ear here is on both sides. That gives me something to mount it to, and then I just took the diameter, used my dollar calipers, mic'd out that diameter right there, and then I made a hole. And then after I had the hole in there, I laid this in, and then I could go down and transfer my holes here. Got all that drilled out. So now I'm ready to just make this cut that out. Okay, so what I did off camera is I went ahead and cut out this, which allows me to mount my filler neck. And as you can see from my super sophisticated high-tech hose holder, what I'm doing here is, so this is my surface here that I know I have to stay below that. Okay, so what I've done is I've set this up. I've got this below it, and this puts it in a location where it's just going to be really easy to fill it. Yeah, it's going to be real easy to fill it. So what I may do here is there, move it over more towards the corner. Okay, now what I'm thinking here is I'm going to take a piece of flat stock and come off of the pillar here on the by the tailgate, come out, and I'm going to angle it, bend it, whatever I need, and get it right up along here. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'll come off the corner. I'll probably have to put a 90 twist in it, but that shouldn't be a problem. I guess I could maybe come off the little lip that I have left that I haven't cut off yet. I could come off that too if it's stiff enough, and that will locate this. Then once I have that located, I will make another piece and probably just come straight down to the floor, down here, go down to that piece right there, and so I have a stiffener so that can't move. So that's kind of what my plan is right now. So I've got this cut and I've got it sitting there. Now it's just a matter of taking a few measurements so I know how much metal to cut. Okay, so I got a measurement here for the first one, and I went ahead and took a second one just so I could get a reference. And now I'm going to just take a measurement and jot that down so that I know what I'm dealing with. So that's one thing, guys, when you're in the shop, always keep something to write with and on, because you will need it. It's a guarantee. It's not a, oh, maybe I will. You will. You can take it to the bank. So I just make me a sketch here. Now, I found a piece of angle iron, and I'm going to try that. I think I will still have to reinforce it. 10.5. But it will give me or 13. It will give me a reference for the first piece. I went ahead and did it for the second side as well. That one is going to be 11, roughly 11 and a quarter, and I'm going to add a good 2 inches because I got to bend it and come down and mount it. So I'm going to go 13 and a half. They're actually pretty darn close. This one was 10 and a half plus 2 is 12 and a half. I'm going to go 13 on that one. This one is 11 and a quarter. Plus 2 is 13 and a quarter. So I will probably go on the other one. 13 and 3/4. Which should give me 2 and a half. Now the reason I'm adding is because I've got to make the bend so my bracket is going to basically look like that. So when I cut my angle iron to make that 9 or that, it won't be a full 90, but when I cut that, I'll have to cut a piece out. So whenever you're cutting angle iron that you're going to bend, so there's your straight, here's your bent piece, there's your thickness. So if I need to bend it and I got to make a bend here like that, then what that means is I've got to cut out a piece of this metal here so that I can make that bend. And if I do it right and gauge my angle right, which I'm going to measure that in a minute, I'll have a pretty darn good idea how much I got to cut out of there. And so let me show you, let me get everything set up and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so what I'm trying first here is I've got a digital protractor. So I've got it setting on my straight edge, and kind of measuring the way I have it sitting right here. The truck is not dead level the way I've got it on my jack stands. So I took this and then I set my reference. So now it's showing 0. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of metal and I'm going to hold it right here, which should be roughly there, and then I'm going to set it here, get that measurement, and I pushed hold, and if I did it right, that says it's 37.4 degrees. Okay, so I know I need a 37 degree cut, a differential there. So means we're close to a 45 but not quite. So now I'm going to take that and I'll go over there and I will lay that out at a 37 degree. And we'll make our cuts. Have it. And they never, the 40 foot, when I make these angle cuts, they never seem to work out so that I can just move that over to the other side and call it good. Nah, it's always the wrong direction. That's all right. We'll suffer through. Okay, so now we have our piece. It's going to sit like that. See, it's going to go like that. Now what I will work on next, I'll go ahead and get a couple holes drilled right here, and that way I can kind of get that held in place. And once I have it held in place up here, I'll clamp it here And then that tells me exactly where I need to drill holes into the core support. So that's next. Stay tuned. Alright, I got a couple holes drilled here. Now I'm just decided it would be easier to go ahead and get this bolted in. And once I have that bolted in, I'll put a screw in there and have this bolted down. That way I don't have to try and hold it and figure out where this needs to go and all that fun stuff. So,
we have to go get the air compressor, so that's good.
Start out with a small bit.
And drag line goes way, it goes through all these fields, like way over where we were earlier, was way on the other side of the house.
So we have a small done, and we'll figure out the
that truck's
size
loaded
of it.
behind me. That one goes down and over. Hey Kurt, whereabouts?
So I got my handy trusty mics out, or dial calipers is the correct term. So that is 183. So I got a chart here. If I can show you this right there. So this chart tells me my hole for my bolt is 183. So to go 183 and have a little clearance, I'm going to go ahead and use a 3/16. That way I have a little bit of clearance. There you go.
Well, we were doing good this morning.
And it's important to have that, because if you drill a hole the exact size you need, then it's going to be a little tight when you're trying to get your bolt through. So if you drill just slightly oversized, we call it clearance. So a machinist, and I don't profess to be a machinist, but a machinist, when you say I need a hole drilled, they're going to say, well, do you, I said, I want a 3/16. Well, is that a 3/16 bolt? So do you want clearance for 3/16, or do you want me to drill you 3/16? So if you're sticking a bolt in or passing anything through, you, unless you need it dead tight, then you're going to go clearance. So we're going to go clearance here. Okay. So now, by doing what they call the clearance, look at that, drops right in there just as purty as you please. Alright, now I'll get my nut on there and then tighten it down, and then I can do the other side. Alright, and I just happen to know that those are 3/8, and it is a Phillips head screw, so I'm going to get my driver here. Snug that down. I don't know how we ever lived without these handy dandy power tools from Milwaukee and guys like that, man. Those are just friggin' awesome. Alright, now I'm going to mark my next hole, get that drilled, and then I will be able to figure out just where we need to go. Then I can take it over there and get it figured out over there. Man, I hit that too light. There, now I got a hit on it. There, that's a hit. All right, now we'll do the same thing again. I'll start with my small bit and go up to my big bit. Well, the time has come that I gotta become a contortionist and get there so that I can work on these brackets. And in case you haven't noticed from prior videos, number one, these gray hairs in my beard mean I ain't a spring chicken. And number two, if you haven't been able to tell from the prior videos, I ain't exactly a skinny little bugger. This ought to be fun. Okay, we made it, barely. That was a tight squeeze, not gonna lie. This is one of those days, I wish I was 16 again and about $1.65. Would have been a whole lot easier. But, all right, so what's on tap tonight is I'm going to get these. I gotta get the holes marked, get it located, and get busy. So, fortunately, I forgot the GoPro at the house, so I'm going to have to do this, get them center punched, drilled, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. Okay, guys, I got it mounted, got the holes drilled finally, and believe it or not, I tried to have everything there, but you know how it is when you're working on stuff. You just one thing you forgot. Yeah, that's the way my luck runs. So after I contorted and all that to get up in that hole, I forgot one screw. And I didn't drill two of the holes quite large enough, so I needed a bigger drill bit. So I forgot two things. So anyway, I got out, and I was able to grab those, that screw and that drill, and get things done without crawling back inside. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so I've got my alcohol compatible hoses here. Comes over from there and comes around to here, to this piece that I made here. And I got my angle down there, and I had to twist it a little bit just to get everything to line out right. But by itself, it's not too bad. But I think once I get the clamps on here, I think that's going to stiffen that up nicely. So that, yeah, maybe. I may end up having to put a stiffener on. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? So I'm thinking if I have that there, it's clamped, that can't move. See if I can hold the phone. Can't hold the phone and push. Let's try that. So I'm gonna put you guys down. Sorry about that, but I'm thinking if I hold the phone, the hose here, so that really makes it pretty stiff. I think we're gonna be all right. There. Yeah, I think we'll be good. Yeah. Cool. I've got my vent there. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to try it that way, get everything clamped down, tightened up, and then I'll see if I need to make a reinforcing brace that goes from maybe over here on this side down to the bed floor there. All right, hey guys, got the bracket all painted. Don't have to worry about it rusting. Got it all put back together. Now we're gonna get it back installed. Hopefully it goes well. But the way, you know, luck usually runs, it probably won't. We'll see. Okay, just like that, that's all tight. I don't think it's going anywhere. May eventually, I'll have to check. I may have to build a support for that. We'll see. Won't take much to do. We'll see. Okay, now I'll get the top two fuel lines on. One's a return and one is a vent. And I just got to look and figure out which one switch. Okay, I figured out which one switch. Now, let's see if we get lucky and we, oh yeah, I don't think we're having any problem whatsoever. Cool. So that's my return. And I think I am. Ugh. I need a, I'm short a 9. I don't have a -690. Alright, I know what I'll do. I'll fix the problem. So I'm trying to make this work without purchasing another one. You know, because I got enough money to spend on getting the radiator put in next after we get the fuel lines done. So let me crawl underneath there, move that vent hose, and then I'll get back here with you. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We got this all finished up. I had to make one piece of fuel line. A little pro tip when you're dealing with that braided hose, AN hose. I use electrical tape and make my cut. Try and get the tape as tight as I can, then I make my cut. And then I just peel the tape off because those braids will fray a little bit. And then I take a new piece of tape and go right where it's fraying, and I start there, and I just kind of pull it tight as I go around and that just brings those frayed wires back in and makes it real easy to put the compression ring on it, and then it just goes together easy peasy. You also, when you stick the actual AN tube down in there with the nut, I always use soapy water. That doesn't leave any residue and doesn't hurt the fuel system. Other than that, yeah, we got this all done, and we're finally done with the back end completely, ready to move up and do the radiator. Appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and don't forget you can buy me a cup of coffee, and down in the link below, that just helps support the channel. Appreciate you guys.